The following may contain offensive language, adult humor, and or content that some viewers may find offensive. The views and opinions expressed by any one speaker does not explicitly or necessarily reflect or represent those of Mark Radulich or W2M Network. Please listen with caution, or don't listen at all.
TV party tonight! What? TV party tonight!
Oh, we got nothing better to do than watch TV and have a couple of brews.
Don't want to talk about anything else.
We don't want to know.
We're dedicated here
To our favorite shows.
Oh, my circuits!
Everybody loves Hippo Toad.
Scary dog!
Dancing at Blurnsville.
Futurama!
Good evening. You are listening to a Radulich Broadcasting Premier Podcast TV Party Tonight. I am your host, the mandated reporter, and frankly unmortified Mr. Mark Radulich. And tonight, our favorite show is Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. David, long time no see, brother from another mother.
Yeah, I've just been sorting out Facebook authentication issues. Apparently someone decided that we just didn't have enough numbers to keep punching in through random sources.
Is that what kept you, my love?
Yes,
The Facebook gods, they were barring the gates.
pretty much. All in the name of safety and security, I guess, for reasons.
How is Ensign Baby Right? Will she be joining us this evening?
Hopefully not. She's developing very quickly. She's already hit the terrible twos, and she's only 19 months, so...
God, has it been that long? It feels like it was just last week you were having to not be on camera and hold her in your arms and pray to God she'd stayed asleep.
Yeah, it's progressed. Well, the in-laws are visiting, so they're kind of having playtime, so...
Oh, thank you for jibber-jabbering me with just a few minutes. Speaking of jibber-jabber, my goodness, she's back again from the Toxic Avengers podcast, and she came in cosplay because that is my life now. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only vivacious Cat Scott. How are you?
Muted, apparently.
Yeah, muted, apparently.
Okay, I think it was a 1 second.
Yep, this is good. She's got to get... I think she has to get someone from engineering to fix her sound.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah, you go do your thing, kiddo. So, David, while she sorts her life out, it's been, what, a year or two since we talked season 2 of Strange New Worlds?
Yeah, probably about a year, maybe a bit more.
Okay. Because I hadn't really been keeping up, and somebody said recently, and I swear to God, I know you're like, come on, Radulich, get to it, so I will be brief.
Oh, but you're way better than the early days when I started listening. Remember when it took you like 20 minutes before you actually got to anything remotely a point related to the topic of the show?
I was like Sam Kinison. It took me 20 minutes just to cook, but you, being Rodney Dangerfield, said you don't need 20 minutes to cook.
I tell you, I get no respect.
That's right. Are you with us now? Still. Somebody was saying, I think it was Critical Drinker, your favorite and mine. He was saying that, like, he put out a video within the last couple of days that TV kind of sucks now relative to what we're talking about tonight.
Yeah.
Because it's too much time between seasons. A year's worth of television got you from August, September till about May.
Yeah.
And then you had 3 months off, and then we were right back in it again.
Yep.
And now it's 10 episodes, either dropped at once or over 10 weeks, and then you may not see the show for a year or more. I think the examples he gave was House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll just gonna, there is no question. There are no questions, only answers here on Strange New Worlds. But what do you think of that? What's your reaction to his lamentation that is one of the many reasons TV sucks now, relative to this show?
Yeah. Overall, I agree. At least in the case of Strange New Worlds, they didn't binge it. Like, they dropped it off like an episode a week. Because, massive technical difficulties with Cat, but
Rose, I'm gonna give her a minute to figure shit out.
We'll get it sorted, but
yeah,
like because I like it's nice, of course, that you have the whole show there to binge, but I often find that the episodes drop and you just watch it in a weekend and then it's done and you're back to waiting for the next year.
Yeah.
Whereas it's kind of nice. It's like, oh, hey, it's Friday. There's a new episode of whatever show here, and then you can kind of enjoy the episode, and then you look forward to next week's episode, and you can talk to your friends. Oh, did you watch the episode last week? And I like that pacing a lot better than with the binge watching. But yeah, onto his second point with the like year breaks between seasons. Like, yeah, it's like, remember when we did Lower Decks season 4 and I thought it was season 5 and and I was like, what happened in season 4? Like, all I have is Moopsie in my head.
Yeah, I had a similar to connect this. I swear to everyone, including you, I am talking about the show. I had no idea where we were in things. It opens with the Gorn, and I remember the Gorn on this show are the big threat to the Federation. They are the Klingons, the Borg, the Romulans.
Yeah,
the Q. They're the big bad. So something was going on with Erica, not my girlfriend, this character. In case anyone gets confused.
Yeah, I can remember the broad strokes of what was happening. It's like, okay, yeah, they have to escape, and the Gorn are overrun the planet. And okay, yeah, right, she has like baby Gorn in her, and they're trying to save her life because she's also dating the captain.
No fucking clue. And then what happened to Pike's wife, girlfriend, whatever the hell she was? I guess she's girlfriend when this starts. So, like, I remembered Spock and Chapel had a thing. I did not know, and I don't know if it started in season 2, if Spock and Lana. Lon rhymes with Khan. I didn't know if their thing started in season 2 or if that was fresh season 3 stuff.
That was fresh season 3.
I remember between season 1 and season 2, they were dealing with Rebecca Romijn's like cybernetic augments or something like that she had to either that was a whole thing.
Her species was like genetically enhanced or engineered, and they really jumped on that as something where like we can make the Federation racist. Yay!
Well, you and I also spent a great deal of time kicking that around. So, and my point is, I don't remember enough of what was going on in season 2 to be like, oh boy, Strange New. Honestly, my excitement for Strange New World is I wonder how Dave is doing. That's it. Well,
thank you.
You're
happy
welcome.
You were thinking of me. But yeah, I totally get it. It's a lot like, oh wait, what happened in the last season? It's almost like you're spending like the first episode trying to piece back together everything that happened before, so you can kind of get back into it.
Yep. So my final point on this, and then she'll catch up when she catches up if she ever catches up. Oh fuck, there she is. Are you with us?
Yes.
Okay.
Tommy, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm so sorry. I was having some technical difficulties. That's so unprofessional.
It's okay.
So, oh, hi, Mark. Oh, hi, David.
Hello.
David Cat.
Hi.
And now I can't be accused of being sexist for keeping you underneath the two men. You got there all on your own volition.
I mean,
she did start up on top. Yeah.
She did start up on top, and now she's here. So listen.
What can I say?
Kat, in 50 words or less, and I do mean 50 because I do want to get started on the show so Dave can go back to his family.
Okay.
You asked to be here.
It's okay, they're good.
Okay. You asked to be here. What is your great love of Star Trek? Where does Strange New Worlds rank for you?
Okay. So I am one of those kids that did not really grow up with it. Like, my sister loved it. She loved TNG. My mom loved TOS. I didn't grow up with it until I met my current partner, who I've been with for 11 years, who is like a Trekkie from like back in the day. Has met Cisco, has met Kirk, has met a bunch of Trek people. And we started watching Discovery when it like came out. And
hang on. Did you say you've been watch? Do I have a boo anymore?
Hey.
Do I? Oh, damn it! I don't have so many booing anymore. I used to.
You need a bigger soundboard.
I really do. Anyway, boo! Boo! Discovery! Yeah. Boo!
Now I agree with you. Back then, I thought it was great. But I mean, and we'd been going through like Deep Space Nine. So when Pike and Number One were introduced on Discovery, there was a rumor going about that, they were going to get their own spinoff with Pike as the captain, and so I was mad excited about it, and then I watched it, and it's okay. It is number 2 for me.
Okay.
I love this
one?
show.
What's number 1? What's your favorite Star Trek? And the answer is Deep Space Nine, by the way.
Deep Space Nine, Lower Decks, and Picard kind of jockey for position with me. I love Picard.
Really?
Yes.
Like the whole thing, or just season 3?
Yeah.
Okay, I do love season 3, and I like season 2 too because you get Q back.
Okay.
All
and
right.
that's fun.
Does she get to stay, Dave? I'm going to give you the deciding vote here because
she gets to stay. I'm not one of those purity police when it comes to Star Trek. Like, if you like Discovery, great, go. I'm not saying you personally, just like as the example. Let's go to the bottom of the heap, right? Were I at a Star Trek convention and I saw someone walking around in a Discovery uniform, I would not shame them. You are welcome to like the show that you like. I wish I understood why, but there
are good points. Discovery,
So you have to understand.
Yeah.
I gave you the 2 episodes, the 2 seasons of our show, our review show, as homework. I don't know if you did the homework, but Dave often refers, and I have made this point in other podcasts. Dave refers to Star Trek Discovery as Star Trek Shoot 'em in the fucking face.
Damn.
So,
that is how they solve many of their problems.
So just so you know where I stand, I grew up with Star Trek, but I'm 100, so I grew up with TOS. I grew up with the movies. My first exposure to Star Trek is the best movie ever made, next to the Lord of the Rings, Wrath of Khan. Yep. Robert and I, in front of Dave, got into a fist fight about the Beastie Boys. We also got into a fist fight about which is better, Star Trek First Contact or Star Trek Wrath of Khan.
Ooh, that's a tough one because I love First Contact. We actually just recently watched that with our son, who is getting into Trek like hardcore. He had our friend Carrie got him a Data costume.
Ooh.
Nice. So yeah, Wrath of Khan's up there for me. Love TOS, love TNG.
Yeah.
My favorite Star Trek of all time, besides the Wrath of Khan movie, is Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, that's my favorite too.
This is somewhere in the middle for me. I don't hate Strange New World. I think kinder to it than most Star Trek fans that make stuff on the internet. It's a very specific group.
Gotta keep making that content.
Yeah.
I'll say this, and then we'll get into the review. I did not hate the musical episode the way they seem to.
Same.
I'm a musical theater geek, so like it tickled like a part of my brain.
Same. I'm like, I can't hate this. I love musicals, and I'm sorry. Your musical theater thing invaded your science fiction thing for those people who were angry about it. But life goes on. Let's get into this.
Like,
sorry. So Dave and I were just talking about how we were having a hard time connecting the last part of the second season to the first part of the third because it's been such a time gap.
Yeah.
In
2 years.
Yeah. So in 50 words or less, what have you thought of Strange New World so far? Getting right into the season 2 finale.
So I love that it is all right. So it is serious. It has a lot of heart. It's also goofy as hell. It's unhinged at times.
Yeah.
I thought the crossover with Lower Decks was just delightful.
Yes, we were very positive on Lower Decks.
Like, it made me cry. I love it. I can't wait until we get in to season 3 because I gotta.
Okay, I want to start here. Kind of a broad stroke criticism of Strange New World season 3. Dave, let me bring you in on the conversation here.
Okay.
This is kind of like my thesis, and we can kick this around for a little while. When I think about Star Trek, and I understand they are trying to make it for modern audiences, Strange New World is probably as close as you're going to get to capturing what the spirit of the original Star Trek and, to a lesser extent, Star Trek Next Generation was, while understanding you're dealing with the neurodivergent ADHD universe of viewers out there who don't have the patience for that kind of thing anymore. So
I'm sorry, did you say something? I was checking my TikTok.
Exactly. So it has to be 1/3 science fiction, 1/3 relationships and romance, and 1/3 action, which I think it does very well. My problem, Dave, is that this at times very much doesn't feel like Star Trek to me anymore. Your thoughts? And that's a big that is a big broad stroke criticism of season 3. But I hate it. Just there were times I'm watching this going, the Orville did this better. Go.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, I guess we could finish the review with that statement. But I see where you're coming from in that. Yeah, it's this season. I would say was like first season was kind of like first steps. We're kind of figuring things out. We're kind of washing the stink of Discovery off of things. Second season, for the most part, took the good bits of the first season and expanded upon them, and overall did pretty good. Like where it was very Star Trek, the only complaint I could really give is it was episodes that I'd kind of already seen before. It's like, where there's something strange going on at this like harvesting facility in this nebula, and her is getting psychic visions. Like, it's a stellar nursery for interdimensional beings, and the processing plant is killing their children, and the psychic manifestations are them pleading for help. Okay, now I have to wait 45 minutes for her to figure this all out. Because I've seen this before more than once. But anyway, at least it was like a well done rehash of that. So for season 3, it was a lot more kind of just more of a mixed bag. That you kind of got more of the interpersonal drama with Spock. Like who thought Spock would be like the emotional arc character like that?
I would like to speak at length about the episode where they all turned into Vulcans, because it was my favorite fucking episode.
Favorite too.
We'll get to that. But yeah, it's like, well, what characters do we have here? It's like Spock. Well, tell me about Spock. Well, his species has like 0 emotions. Okay, we're gonna make him like the guy who has all the relationship drama. It's like, I have an issue.
Once again, speaking to the modern man, just like, oh look, we're gonna pick the most autistic character. Wonderful.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that the series finale will just be Spock making out with Pike, because he's the only character on the show that Spock hasn't had relationships with at that point.
Give him a break.
Yeah, this species has like sex once every 7 years. This dude's gonna be getting laid more than anyone else on the ship. Like Kirk and Riker have posters of Ethan Peck's Spock on their walls, like in their quarters.
That's
Ethan
really
Peck is okay. Ethan Peck, I adore him. I can tell that the apple does not fall far from the tree in terms of talent, because his grandfather is Gregory Peck. I just kind of want to see him go through Pon farr and get more ass than, no, sorry. Fuck, I fucked up the metaphor. Get more butt than an ashtray, because there's Nurse Chapel, there's Lon. I'm just waiting for him to hook up with Ahura.
That was for more butts than an ashtray.
Thank you.
And let me say, like, the whole cast is fantastic. Like the casting did their jobs excellent for this series.
Nobody is grading. You would think that Erica, especially knowing me, who I am, that Erica would get on my nerves, Ortega, but she actually doesn't. She's got a lot of earnest to her. When we get to her terrarium episode, I thought by the end of that episode I was going to throw my iPad out the window, but that's not. But I actually genuinely liked her the actress's performance and her character. The original thesis question, Kat,
back to the point.
Again, a very modern Star Trek that doesn't feel like Star Trek at times, because it's doing all the non-Star Trek things. Go.
Right. I mean, honestly, if you compare it to like TNG or DS9, it's not that dissimilar, because I've been switching from back and forth, like, yeah, I mean, there are times when it doesn't feel like classic Trek, but I mean, the spirit's the same, the message is the same, albeit maybe a little heavy-handed.
Yeah, I'd say there was like two solid episodes in this season that was like, okay, those are like Star Trek episodes.
Okay, I want to piggyback off of that, because that's kind of my issue here. When I watch Star Trek, there used to be, and Jave, you know this, there used to be consultants on the show. They were there to do some of the techno talk, but also I hate that I feel like this has been lost in the culture, because I think this might be my argument, and I'm kind of expressing it through a review of Star Trek. The science as culture used to be a thing in this country. There were people that were very much dedicated. People in the everyday life were very much dedicated to, like, the wonders of computer science, the wonders of astronomy, the wonders of physics. Like, people who may or may not be working in those fields, but were very interested. Like, there used to be magazines about it. Popular Science, Omni. Want to know how I know those? Because we had them. Like, there very much was a push for science, and Star Trek was part of that. Star Trek took very interesting scientific ideas that were being bandied about at the time of the 60s, and then to a lesser degree when TNG came out, same thing, and it was like, okay, there's this thing happening right now in science. There are some ethical questions here. Let's put this in an episode of the show. So sometimes you got silly shit like tribbles, sometimes you got action shit, but there were other times where, more often than not, where Star Trek was dealing with the ethical, moral, and scientific implications of modern science, and technological implications of modern science. There's so much less of that in this show. That's really, like, if you're like, what is your exact point? That's my exact point. That 1/3 that they dedicate to that kind of thing is so slight, David. It's so very slight. There's not enough of it. So it feels more like, call this something else, I won't watch it. But call this something else, and I don't make this complaint. But you're calling it Star Trek, and that's what it evokes for me. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, I totally see where you're coming from, and for the most part, I agree.
Good.
Yeah, plugs.
Yeah.
Kat, you want to weigh in on this, and then we'll move on to something else?
To be honest with you, I think that's a fair assessment.
Okay, good.
Yeah, what I would say in the show's defense is, whilst yes, it doesn't do as much of the what I call like the big idea science fiction kind of stuff, like, what if the world was like run by computers, and instead of fighting wars, we would just like calculate the wars virtually, and everyone goes into suicide booths.
Right.
And
I made the joke before, but Orville was doing it, so it's like, oh, you can't really do that in modern TV, except the Orville was.
Yeah, but at least for the stuff where they do the relationship drama and the action stuff, at least it's actually pretty well done.
Yeah.
Like if they'd made like an original show with original characters, and like not like retcon Spock as to being like the super ladies man, and just had like Ethan Peck being like this other character in another show, still Star Trek, who was doing all this stuff, I would be down for that. Like, and I think that's, to get ahead of ourselves, where a lot of the criticism of the show comes from. It's because if you were like a super into the lore, like you read Memory Alpha every day and all that stuff, then yeah, this show is going to make your head explode. If you're just kind of like okay, yeah, they're not really being super canonical with things, but at least the stories themselves are still decent from a story writing
purpose. I care less about. I really don't. They fucked up that timeline so badly, I don't even care anymore. Yeah. Go ahead, Kat.
Okay. Right, but what about in TOS? He had a wife, and he was not quite hooking up with Nurse Chapel, but close.
I think there was like an episode where it was like some sort of alien virus or entity or something that was kind of making the crew act odd. So Spock had a little bit of a, back and forth with Nurse Chapel, but I think that was kind of it from what I remember.
The Naked Now? No, Time.
Maybe it was. Yeah, it's been a while. Like TOS is I have probably the least knowledge of, but yeah, they're kind of they're expanding a lot on some things.
That's what America wants. That's what America needs. Naked Leonard Nimoy.
I'm down. No. R.I.P. Oh, hold on. Wait, no, he's Jewish.
Yeah.
May his memory be a blessing. Whatever.
But speaking of Spock, let's stick on him. My favorite episode of this entire season was the Vulcan episode. They really, and I want to give a lot of credit to Ethan Peck, because he's not allowed to really emote as a performer because of the way his character is written. He has to do the slightest of subtle facial tics, and he nails it every time. Like, because I have to do a lot of this, I really have to, be not on my phone and scrutinizing performance and really looking at things. And I'll be honest with you, some of the other characters, I'm on my phone and I'm just kind of listening to the dialogue. Whenever he was on screen, I was watching because I have to see what he's doing. and I loved his performance. He's so consistent through the entire series. And in the episode where they all turn into Vulcans, and he's a big. They keep pointing out that he's a half human, and they're leaving him out of things, and he has to basically be the sad boy, being picked on and bullied. And but he can't full on emote because he can't just be there with like a fucking ice cream cone and the thing fall off, right? He has to kind of go, and that is, you're killing me. I'm dying. This is awful. Thanks for bringing me right back to being 7 again. It was phenomenal, and everybody else being a version of Vulcan of themselves, from Pike being like,
built our code head,
with the cleaning, and Lon, delving into her more con side.
Yes, trying to start a war.
I was fucking dying laughing. Like, there's not a lot that makes me laugh on this show. The humor doesn't really reach me, but that episode was brilliantly written, Kat.
Who would have thought that Lon would turn Romulan? Don't all raise your hands at once.
That was funny.
I love the fact that, it was basically like Spock is 7 again. And or for, I guess, a more contemporary reference, it's very "You Can't Sit With Us" from Mean Girls.
Yes. Stop trying to make fetch happen, Spock.
That's nailed it. And Patton Oswalt. So
I'll get to him.
I can't wait. But no, this episode was great. I loved I love Pike with his compulsive cleaning and how like Marie just reeked. I love Nurse Chapel having no time for anyone but her
doing
work.
nothing but science.
Are you breaking up with me? I am breaking up with you. I've lost too much time to this friendship. Like,
exactly.
Oh God.
Oh God. I loved Uhura with her like basically gaslighting
her boyfriend.
with Vulcan mind meld. It was just and obviously Lon turning Romulan.
That's good shit.
Yes, we need to prepare for the war. What war are we preparing for? The one we're going to start. What?
Yeah.
What'd you think of the episode, Dave?
It was a fun episode. Again, if you're someone who like, we could do an entire podcast just on like the history of like how Vulcans have been represented in Star Trek, from like the voice of reason as a way to externalize the debate about dealing with whatever the issue of the episode was, up to basically a bunch of condescending assholes, to then and it kind of came full circle with this one here.
It doesn't get better than Sarek fucking shaming Kirk for leaving his son on a dying planet. Why did you leave him on Genesis, you asshole?
It was a logical choice.
The fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, we could put his contract back. It's like, well, I didn't know about this.
So good. Again, Star Trek 2, baby. Keep going, Dave.
Yeah. I think it was 3 actually, but yeah.
Yes, sorry, 3.
Yeah. But yeah, it was, again, this was sort of one of the fun episodes where it was, the actors get to play against type, and seeing sort of how they took like Vulcan, this is sort of being like much more perceptive and intellectual. I mean, again, if you look at it from like a canonical standpoint, like the Vulcans are always like, it's not that they are like genetically logical, it's like they are culturally logical. Like that is how they regulate their emotions, through like basically treating logic as a religion.
I mean, they are, well,
hang on, it's a giant coping mechanism.
Basically,
yes.
Yeah.
I want to say this point, and then I'm going to give it to you, Kat.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. As Dave will tell you, it's a fight for time on here.
You got to fight. Yeah.
Spock's thing about it's not that we're, as Dave said, it's not that we're robots. We feel things so passionately. Like imagine you're like the worst bipolar, and and there's no medication for it, so you have to do everything through meditation and self-soothing. That's Vulcans. Vulcans are just like, we're at a fucking 10 on everything, and we'd be Klingons if we didn't watch ourselves. So we've had to learn to self-soothe with logic. That's what that's what's going on with him. And it was funny because it reminded me of the Superman effect of like, you know, Superman has had these powers since he got to Earth and he's had time to develop and process and cope. And then people get his powers instantaneously. And it's like, oh, my head, everything. I hear too much. I see too much. Go ahead, Kat.
So, I mean, in this universe, the Vulcans are the blueprint. They're the, you know, I mean, as soon as we've discovered warp, there they are. I mean, they help set the prime directive. We cannot contact other civilizations who have not discovered warp yet. So, I mean, they are, I wouldn't call it like our parents, or sorry, the human parents. I would call them more like older brother who set the example. And, you know, it really does make a lot of sense, the fact that they are so logical to the point where their emotions have been purged. You know, like it's why they go through Pon Farr. They're not interested in intercourse for pleasure or a mating until their season hits, you know, until they're in heat.
Yeah, then the logic just can't control it anymore.
Yeah. You know, if they don't get laid, they're gonna die of horny.
Basically, or just make a massive mess of things. But
Ugh.
yeah, but to the point of like Spock being like the 7-year-old with the ice cream cone, I actually found him to be more of the adult in the situation. Where it's kind of like everyone else gets these like Vulcan abilities where they're like so much more perceptive and their brains are thinking much faster, and you kind of see how it just like it amplifies a lot of their quirks. Like again, like, you know, Nurse Chapel becomes so absorbed in work. I just, you know, science. Like I have no time for relationships. I could just do so much more science. You know, Lon wants to start a war and conquer the galaxy, and Pike turns into Beldar. He becomes very domestic. Yeah. Whereas Spock is like, you know, he's had to deal with this all of his life, so he is the one who's like, you know, well, he knows kind of what they're going through, and it's him trying to figure out like how can we save them from themselves.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. Yeah.
Patton Oswalt.
Yeah. Sorry, Kat, if I did I cut you
No,
off there?
no, that's
okay.
perfect.
Yeah.
Patton Oswalt is a very funny comedian. My son and I love his stuff. For a while there, my son wanted to be Patton Oswalt. Like he wanted to grow up and be a stand-up comic in the vein of Patton Oswalt. If you've heard enough of his comedy, he does kind of like I do, you know, depending on the situation, he'll like change his voice and do almost a character while telling a story. And there are times where he has to do a very deadpan, like, you know, when he was talking about who's the villain in this scenario, and he says one guy sounds very, very smart, and he's using the deadpan voice, but he's basically saying homosexuality is wrong. And then he does the voice of a Southern redneck, and he's like, the redneck was the hero in this scenario. So he uses that voice in this episode as the Vulcan, and I recognized it immediately, and it was like warm apple pie and milk. I was like, oh, I know that voice. And I was so happy for him, because if you follow Patton Oswalt at all, he's part of that 90s geek comedian uprising that took place. It was him, Janine Garofalo, Brian Posehn, et cetera. And you know, all those guys are like huge Star Trek fans and everything else. I mean, he's talked about it on the show, on in his stand-up. So I always like the fact that when people get to live out their dreams, because I'm sure at some point he wanted to be on Star Trek. And he didn't get to be like a schlubby villain. He didn't get to be a clown. He got to be a suave Vulcan sex machine. And I was like, go Patton Oswalt.
Doug.
I have never seen weirder but suitable and fitting sexual chemistry between two actors than I saw between Rebecca Romijn and fucking Patton Oswalt. And credit in the world to Rebecca Romijn, whose performance in this is a 5 out of 10 for me. She's just kind of there being a busy businesswoman who don't need no man. And then it was like that episode, whoever directed it was like, hey, can you just be fucking sultry and like breathless? Can you be like Madonna in Dick Tracy for like an episode? And she was like, I think I could manage that. Do I need to be naked and like painted blue? No, keep your uniform on, but like be moist. okay. She fucking nails it, man. Every time she was looking at Patton Oswalt like she wanted to eat him, tears, David, down my face.
Yeah.
You could have drowned a toddler in her panties.
Yeah, it was quite something.
Typically, I'm not a fan of like stunt casting. However, I love Patton Oswalt. Have ever since I was like 12 when I saw him on HBO's Comedy Half Hour.
Mm-hmm.
And me being like the nerd I have been since I was itty bitty, like, you know, I was not ostracized, but I didn't feel like I fit in. But then I saw somebody who was, you know, at the time getting too successful, and I'm like, wait, I'm not alone. That can be me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like I know he's a huge fan because he has talked about it, you know, in his specials. And the fact that he basically portrays like a Vulcan version of a weeb.
Mm-hmm.
You know, somebody who is super into another culture that they emulate it and such. I mean, he doesn't have a Vulcan name. His name is Doug.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a brother named Pete and a sister named Susan.
Yes, the writers were very pleased with themselves with this episode.
Most definitely. And you give Rebecca Romijn a 5 out of 10. I give her a 10 out of 10 because yeah, like it was very believable. And
wait a second, 10 out of 10 for her entirety of 3-season performance, because that's what I'm saying is 5. She was a 10 in that episode.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, she's a 10 in this episode.
Okay. Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Thank you for the that clarification. But like, because, you know, I mean, if a guy can make me laugh, panties are going down. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, guys who are funny, or, you know, basically anyone is my kryptonite, because it's somebody that I could talk to, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, there's like a foot difference in height between, you know, Una and Doug. But, like, if he can climb her, he can ride her.
Dave, anything else on the Vulcan episode? If not, I want to move on to Space Time Hour, or whatever the hell it was called.
Just very quickly, is I don't have the background in Patton Oswalt stand up that both of you have. I've just kind of seen him around in movies enough to recognize him. Yeah. And yeah, like, I thought he was good. Like they didn't make him chewing the scenery, funny kind of thing. It's you know, like he played it straight enough within the this was a comedy episode.
Yes.
So it's kind of, you know, his tone was perfectly to match the episode. So I think if you would have any issues with Patton Oswalt's performance, you'd have issues with the episode overall, and vice versa.
And I'm sure someone does.
Yeah, like oh yeah, lots of people do. Lots of people are very upset, at least online. I mean, for me, it's like I get it. We're having fun. It's fun to see the actors get to play these characters, and yeah, like it didn't bother me. I liked it for what it was. If I was a stickler for like Vulcan culture and history, then yeah, I would be worked up. But I have a life.
No one hates the show more than fans of the show.
Yep.
That's true for all of them.
Pretty much. It's a hate only. It's a hate so deep it could only be born from the greatest of love.
Exactly. And the part that made me cry laughing is when Spock was trying to teach Doug how to be more human.
Yes, the after credits bit. Yeah.
Pull my finger, and now flatulence. Amazing.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Or the contractions. I'm trying to teach him how to do contractions,
which is super funny because he had used I'm.
Yeah.
Like 20 seconds before.
Yeah. Well, it's like in TNG, right? They made a big deal about how Data can't use contractions, but Lore can.
Mm-hmm.
But then like you can go onto YouTube and someone's like made like a compilation of all the times Brent Spiner as Data has used contractions all throughout TNG. It's like, okay, like just it's fine. It's a TV show. Like we get it.
I know the lockdowns for long for more people than not, but Jesus Christ, people, get do something else with your time.
I mean, this
So-
was also the time that, there's a whole scene with Garrick and Bashir, that was filmed during lockdown where they are married. So,
Mhm.
So, A Space Adventure Hour is episode 4. It was directed by Jonathan Frakes. He's a fun director. And this is a murder mystery.
Knows a thing or two
episode.
about Star Trek.
A little bit. This is we're testing the holodeck, and I really wanted to ask you about this one, Dave, because again, I don't remember canonical Star Trek. I can't remember, what I have to do tomorrow. So I did want to ask you what your opinion on this one, how they handled like testing the holodeck, the concept of a murder mystery within the show itself. What'd you think?
Yeah, again, like as far as like big idea sci-fi, no, it's just like an excuse to do a fun murder mystery. But and hey, like they've done this before. Like there's been many a holodeck episode, so much that it's basically we have the term holodeck episode.
Yep.
Voyager was the biggest offender on that front, but having it be like this is sort of the prototype holodeck where they're just testing it out. Thought that was a good angle to go at it from. I loved how they kept like the TNG grid look to it. That was kind of a nice little, okay, you hit me in the warm and fuzzies nostalgia there. I'll give you that. I like how the answer at the end was it draws too much power, so it needs its own power supply and computer core, because it's like always been a running joke that no matter how beat up Voyager got, the holodecks always still functioned. And it was basically made canonical that they run off of a different power supply. It's like, okay, yeah, I saw it. Yeah, you're gonna go there. You're gonna make that canonical. So yes, bravo, well done, you. The murder mystery itself, I thought was fine.
I like to see that actress play something else other than half a Klingon.
right.
Yeah. And credit to Anson Mount for the range that guy has. Like it took me a while. I was like, okay, who's that guy? Oh shit, that's Anson Mount. Like,
right.
He is like way not Pike in that role.
That's the same guy who plays Black Bolt in the Inhumans. Can you imagine?
Yeah. No, like it's quite impressive. I think he's become one of those actors where if I see his name and something, like, okay, I know we're gonna get at least one good performance in this thing.
Right.
I thought it was funny that the way that Lon was able to figure out the answer to like who the murderer was is that basically because this is an early holodeck, it doesn't automatically assume that you're going to bone every character in the program. So it's like, I hugged Spock and got no emotional reaction. Wait a minute, you're a hologram. And I think the only other real takeaway from that was right at the very end where they had the actor that plays Kirk do the Riker maneuver. It's like, well, even if I hadn't seen Jonathan Frakes listed as director, I know who did that.
That was a fun nod, yes.
Yes.
What did you think of the episode, Kat?
So, I thought it was adorable because it is a lot of fun watching them play around and be goofy. I loved how to me it felt like an homage to TOS.
Like the Dixon Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes of it, and Pike was obviously playing Roddenberry, which I thought was great. I had a point that I was going to make, and I completely forgot. Hold on, give me a second. Go ahead. And
no worries. Yeah, not the first time. Not the first time that's happened on this show.
The actor playing Kirk grew on me, but
yeah,
where we started in this episode, I was on my phone a lot because I'm like, this is grating. It won me over because the actress who plays Lon, one, is hot. Two, is she's really good, and she has awesome sexual chemistry with Ethan Peck.
Man, does she ever?
The two of them together get a full Popeye from me. Yeah, they're steamy. So everything else about that episode, I'm just kind of meh about. But starting with the overacting and over obviously the people who work on this show are a rare breed. They actually like the show they're working on, and they like Star Trek, and anything that you like, you're going to make fun of. So, but it was like they all kind of overdid it in that in the cold open to the point where I'm like, I can't watch this.
You need to do like one or two lines of just there's something out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Not do the whole monologue.
Right.
Then
so
it becomes
him
a bit
doing a bad impression of William Shatner doing
it's a
badly
caricature.
acting Kirk.
Yeah.
It was like, this is Russian doll poor acting for me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I just need to get through this.
Well, it's like if you ever watched the Thunderbirds movie, also directed by Jonathan Frakes.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible movie, horrible like movie version of such a great show. But like the original show was done with like marionette puppets, and there's a bit where like one of the characters, he has these mind control powers, and he's like, "You are a puppet in my hands," and you see the actor kind of bob like a marionette, and then it's done. It's that it's like, okay, got it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Now we move on. Yeah. I think it kind of needed to be like that.
If you remember your point, Kat, just shout it.
Yes.
Oh, you do. Good.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think you're absolutely right. Like, Jonathan Frakes like directed this episode, and you can tell. I'm actually going to go. I'm actually going to meet him in about 3 weeks or so.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he's coming to St. Louis for GalaxyCon.
Sweet.
But like, and yeah, this was definitely a holodeck episode. I mean, isn't it in like Deep Space Nine where like in the middle of the war they drop everything and like have a heist inside holodeck? Okay.
Yes, yeah, Vic Fontaine's casino. I forget the name of the episode, but yes, they basically do like an Ocean's 11 type heist episode in the holodeck whilst there's an interstellar war for the fate of the Federation at stake.
And they play baseball.
I'm going to bring up one more episode to talk about, and then I'm going to throw it to Dave,
take me out to the holosuite.
And then take it out to Dave for anything he wants to talk about, and then Kat, you can back clean up. But the very last thing we're going to talk about is the finale, the season 3 finale, because I have some thoughts. I need to discuss that, and I don't want to, and I want it to be the last thing we talk about. So, I'm just going to say the following, and then you guys can chat about this episode. Whatever, I don't remember which episode it was. It might have been episode 3. The zombies episode, fucking big yawn from me. Now, admittedly, zombies not my favorite genre. Not even my favorite genre of fucking horror.
Yeah. There we go. There we go. Okay, we got close.
I got it.
I'm kind of here too. Yeah.
All right. Oh, sweet. Three nerds in a room who actually don't care about zombies. Oh, thank God! I thought I was the only one.
Other than the beginning cleaning up.
Okay, fair enough.
Other than the beginning of the season cleaning up the stuff with the Gorn that I couldn't remember, so I was more bored than anything else.
Thank you.
I actively disliked the zombie episode. I was like, I was just reading the notes while we were all talking. Like, they specifically decided to do a Fra Diavolo, and this is my AI album where I keep going through different genres or subgenres of different music. That's what they were doing with this season. It was like, this episode's going to be a mystery, and this one's going to be a this, and this one's going to be a this. And I'm like, that's great. I love that. The fact that somebody was just like, right, zombie episode. So I understood the logic of it, and I'm sure there were people who thought it was probably their favorite episode because people like zombies, or they wouldn't make these movies anymore. Lost me entirely. I watched it for the podcast and nothing else, Dave.
Mm-hmm. Oh, more on the zombies episode?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, again, I'm not that big into zombies. The 2010s were really rough for me there because it was just like every single goddamn thing had to have zombies in it. Every video game had a zombie mode. It is just like I just don't care about zombies, guys. Like, I don't care how many zombie escape plans you have. Like, they're just no. I mean, yeah, Shaun of the Dead, Zombieland. That was it. Those are the two bright spots for me. Other than that, like, I just could not care less about zombies. But it wasn't. It was like, oh, okay, we're doing zombies, and I kind of liked that at least Pike was like, oh, they're zombies. Like, you know, call it what it is. And
he did TV. He knows.
Yeah, and again, I always like it when they make some sort of pop culture reference in Star Trek to something other than jazz or classical music. But yeah, it was at least it was like a Strange New Worlds episode where they go to a strange new world and stuff happens. But I found
not
like
a lot of Strange New Worlds and Strange New Worlds.
True. Yes.
Going back to my first criticism.
Yeah. yeah, that is kind of it. That is my biggest criticism to the show. Is like, could we just get to more like Strange New World stuff, less on ship drama, and like bottle episodes. Like I think this season had like 3 comedy episodes. You had 4.5 Vulcans, which yes, very funny, very good.
So weird science fiction show that hates science fiction, don't you think?
We had the Trelane episode with the wedding. That was probably my least favorite episode overall of the show, because again, like we've seen this before, and okay, yes, John Delancey, I mean, always happy to see John Delancey get work, don't get me wrong, but it's like, okay, yeah, Trelane's probably a Q, but otherwise it was just kind of like, I don't care, like it's just and then we had like the holodeck episode. So yeah, it's like out of 10 episodes, 3 of your episodes, like almost a third of the show is just comedy episodes, as opposed to let's go out and experience strange new worlds and do sci-fi stuff and talk about humanity and things.
Anything else about the season 3 before I go to Kat and then the finale that you wanted to talk about, Dave?
I'd say Ortega's was probably my least favorite of all the cast. Like not the actress herself, she's fine. But just the character is just never really kind of clicked with me. But this season they gave her a couple of really good moments to go off of. Like they had her like PTSD with being eviscerated by a Gorn. I like the bit where she tells her off about her brother and how that kind of affected her like family relationship. And then when they did Enemy Mine for the second last episode, my only real complaint about that is like they had to add in the I think the aliens on that planet were something from a TOS episode, like where they manipulated the situation to like put her and the Gorn together so they could observe them, seeing if they would kill each other or be friends. That bit I kind of felt like if they just like taken that part out of it and just had it be she's stranded on this planet with a Gorn, they have to work together, they form a friendship, and then at the end the first thing that happens when the away team sees them is they shoot the Gorn.
Yeah, and would have been nice if they had just done that. Just
do that, and then have it at the end just be like, oh, I guess the Gorn aren't all bad in the end.
Another criticism about that episode, it's less about, but I'm not mad at the show for this. I'm mad at the stupidity of the world. They had to have Ortega vocalize every single thought she had because the audience is too stupid to keep up with her if she had just acted with her face.
Yeah.
Was that Kat?
Yeah.
I said human exposition.
Yes.
It's got to go somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
We're not going to get the Muppets until the next season.
Right.
And I was also kind of a bit surprised that they like ended the Gorn threat in the first episode. Like I was expecting them to get out of the situation, but then they just do a best of both worlds and put them all to sleep. And it's like, oh, okay, I guess we're not doing the Gorn anymore.
Yeah, that could have been like a whole season arc, but they just dropped it.
Yeah, that was. I mean, it wasn't as bad as Dr. Umbenga's terminally ill daughter in the transporter buffer. They just like introduced that one episode, and then 3 episodes later, boom, she's a space like god now. Like, okay, guess they ran out of ideas there.
Gonna make me cry again.
Probably the one other big thing before we get to the finale that I would mention is they nailed Scotty.
Okay.
Like that guy, he is like perfectly cast young Scotty. Like he nails the accent, the performance, and he does a great job of like, this is what I would imagine a younger Scotty to be. And I even like that they gave him like a kilt when he's in his like formal uniform. Andrew's not here to say that, but like the casting did an excellent job with that one.
Kat, your burning desire. So this is the part of the show where I'm going to ask you to talk about things that you want to talk about relatively briefly. That but your burning desires is the things that like, oh, I want to say this on the podcast and I want to say this that we haven't already covered. So,
well, going back to the zombie episode, just like you guys, I'm kind of over it. Like seriously, because you're right. Every video game was either a zombie video game or had a zombie mode. Red Dead Redemption, Call of Duty, Dead Rising, Dead Island.
Left 4 Dead was actually pretty good. I'll give them that.
I do really, like I really enjoy that game. But like, yeah, you're right. Zombie, Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, ad nauseum, blah, 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 blah. But I've got a caveat to this.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it featured zombies, and it's kind of mid for me. But like, it also
Technically, they are infected because zombies are done with voodoo magic.
Yeah, no kidding.
That guy, right? We all hate that guy.
We already, well, yeah, trust me. I had to like pinch myself so I didn't say like, well, actually, a couple of times. So you're just cool. So no, so even though it features zombies, which is kind of mid for me, it also features my favorite race on Trek.
Klingons.
I love Klingons. My favorite person in both, in TNG, DS9, and Picard is Worf. Will always be Worf. Yeah, like I got to meet Tony Todd, so Kern. I fucking love Klingons.
Mm-hmm.
They are, like they're my all-time favorite.
So sorry, I have to ask. I know Mark wants to wrap this up, but I have to ask, what did you think of the Discovery Klingons?
I hated them. I hated them because they didn't look like Klingons.
Yeah, it's their fault that in my review of season 3 of Picard, I had to say I am so happy he only has 2 nostrils.
Oh, I'm glad that he has hair.
That too.
Yeah.
Sorry, but I interrupted you, but go on. Please continue.
Thank you. And I really did like the callback to M'Benga killing that Klingon.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really glad that what's her ass got an honorable death.
Yeah.
Although I do understand why M'Benga spared her, because they were about to be overrun. So
yeah, is this really the best time to be doing this? Like, really? Like, can we get rid of the zombie planet first, then we can do the honor battle?
Exactly. Like, I would take her out for with a bat left. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, that's basically all I have to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have anything else you wanted to add about the entirety of the season?
In my opinion, it was the weakest of the 3. I find their lack of endurance disturbing.
I miss Hemmer so much.
Me too. Why do they have to kill all the Andorians? Like, my partner, that's his favorite race.
Mm-hmm.
He runs a meme page on Facebook called the New Andorian Memeing Consortium, because the first page got nuked.
Does he make any jokes about how Hammer was blind, but for some reason could always read the screens?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Just checking.
Most certainly. Yeah. Shran will always be my, that's always my Andorian. I love him so much. But but yeah, I find this season the weakest of the 3, basically. I liked it.
I was really hoping it was over, and then I read that it's been fucking renewed for another season and a half, and I'm, and that,
at least it's only half a season, Mark.
It's half a season, and they've declared it's the last one for sure. But
yeah,
why can't we just have like a full season, like a full last season to wrap everything up?
I don't know. Tremaine did the same thing, and I'll never understand why.
I think there's shenanigans behind the scenes with like the Skydance buyout, and anyway, we could again do podcast upon podcast about all that drama.
So I watched the season finale while I was working today. I watched it like on a break that I had between sessions, and I started it, and I was in the middle of something during the final face-off between the God Queen and the Satan Kid.
Mm-hmm.
Which is how I'm going to refer to them for the rest of the episode. God Queen and Satan Kid. And so when they got to the punchy part, I was like, I have work I have to finish real quick. So I turn to my computer, my work computer, and I start doing that thing. And when I looked back, or I think I had like 10 seconds forward because I was like, I got to get this in less than an hour, and I only have that much time. So I'm like fast forwarding, and then I stopped because suddenly they time shifted, and I stopped what I was doing. I dropped everything, and I just watched from that point on. My eyes were glued to this. The sequence of events where he gets to live out his life with her in this like fantasy universe reminded me of Generations. Specifically Whoopi Goldberg, Guinan's line about what is it? That they called it the ribbon, the Matrix,
Nexus.
The Nexus. Thank you. The next you wraps you in a warm blanket of comfort, and it was like that's what it reminded me of. Watching Pike live out his best life with this woman, and the way that it did, brought me to tears. And this show doesn't, other than make me laugh at times and mostly annoyed, doesn't really draw emotion out of me. This full-on boohoo tears. Like, it's not quite Peggy and Steve at the end of Endgame where I was inconsolable, but it was that level of like, oh my God, what lovely romance, what lovely, like, this is what I aspire to. This is relationship goals for me. And then just to know that it was all a dream, it was a parting gift, because she had to sacrifice herself to defeat the devil kid. And I was like, the writing's not always great on this show, but when it is, man, it's like watching a baseball game and it's been 0-0 for 12 innings and you finally get to the 13th and somebody finally hits a grand slam and ends the game. You're like, oh my God, that's amazing. I can't believe I had to wait that long for it. But credit where credit's due. Strange New Worlds really did hit the grand slam at the end with that, because I didn't really care about the how that episode ended after that. It was like watching them go from lived life together to death. I honestly could have just seen that much of it and been fine. Like, I didn't care how it was solved. But they did. They went on to do more stuff. But I absolutely loved that sequence of events, Dave. It was so good. And like, for the first time in a long time in this series, I really felt for Pike.
Another what it reminded me of more than anything was The Inner Light, the TNG episode where Picard basically lives an entire life as like an alien. Though that was that had sort of a different point to it. That was more, it was like a memorial probe for an extinct species that just wanted someone to remember them, which I think hits a bit harder in that case. But anyway, I'm not going to like review that whole episode. Like, that was, I think it was like it won a major award too, but might have been an Emmy. Anyway, like I get what you're saying. Like, yes, like the writers in this show absolutely can do good at what they do if you're okay with what they do, I think is the kind of like the best way I could summarize it. And again, and if you're like a Trek fan who is just like hard into the lore and continuity, it's going to drive you crazy because they play a bit fast and loose with that. But at least they tend to do good with what they do when they break that. Which is kind of like my big problem with Discovery is, again, Kurtzman said, like, if we have to choose between telling a good story or following canon, we're going to tell a good story, but they never told a good story. So, so everyone was upset here. At least, whilst they break canon somewhat, they at least do kind of if you just take the stories they tell, they're good to great. I'll give them that credit. So yeah, I totally get like the emotional thing, especially if you have like lived that kind of a life, you have gotten married, you have had kids. It's sort of the idea of like that perfect life with the person you love. Like, I totally get how it hits you. It hit me too. The problem is that wasn't the whole episode or the whole arc. So
I forgot about the rest of it.
Yeah. And I totally get why. So I'm going to take that beautiful moment in the episode. I'm going to put it in its nice little box where it's like nice and safe. And I'm going to take that box and I'm going to hand it over to you, Mark, to love and cherish forever. And now we're going to get into like how incredibly lame and stupid the rest of that storyline was.
Please do, Dave. Please do.
Yeah. Like I really don't like chosen one narratives. And this just like seemed like it pulled it out of his ass. It's almost like we had like a Strange New Worlds writer write, the Pike and what's her name love story bit thing. Right. And then they took a writer off of Discovery to write the rest of it. Like, it was just like, Like the sad thing is, I actually enjoyed the lead up episode to it, where they go to the planet and they find the ruins, and like it looks all cool and like interdimensional shenanigans, and they're like, oh wait, this is actually like a jail for like really dangerous interdimensional beings or something that are like evil gods, and yeah, we have to get the shit locked down again. Like, okay, like that was, they've kind of done similar stuff to that before. I did find it absolutely hilarious that the evil aliens looked a lot like the aliens in Equinox from Voyager. This is back when like killing little aliens to make your ship go faster was a thing the bad guys did. Discovery. I digress. But yeah, it was just like all of a sudden it's just like, all the stuff you've done to me. Now I realize I am the chosen one who will like vanquish the evil from the galaxy. And then, okay, so what do we need to do? Well, you need to get me to the room. It's like, okay,
you also
we're
need
in
to
the
name
room
me
now.
Ray Skywalker.
Pretty much, yeah. And it's like they get her into the room, and then boom, she just goes Super Saiyan, and it's done. It's like South Park made fun of this in that episode where it was like the Peruvian flute bands were like warding off giant guinea pigs, and Craig was like the chosen one, and he was like, this is so dumb. I'm not doing this. And in the end, he's just like, guys, this is so lame. I'm going home. And he just walks across, steps onto the altar. The altar raises up, and lightning bolts, and it goes him always just like, God damn it. That was this episode for me. It was just like, this is like the lamest story for a season finale since like season 1 of TNG, where it was just like Riker doing a clip show in his brain because he had some like alien parasite in him or something. Like it was a very, very weak ending to that arc, I thought, other than all the the Pike's life stuff.
All right, Kat, the season finale, your words.
So I'm going to agree with both of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So one of my main complaints with Discovery is I couldn't follow it, and I didn't care enough to follow it because it didn't make me care about, the show and these people. But yeah, like the whole interlude with Chris and Marie, like, made me cry. Like it was Niagara Falls, Frankie Angel, and I haven't cried in this show since the Lower Decks crossover episode, right? So, as you guys know, in TOS, like you hear about Pike, you meet Pike for an episode, and he's a Dalek basically, and he gets sent to that planet where, like, in his mind, he can be the person that he's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, you care, but you don't really know Pike.
Yeah.
In this show, you get to know Pike.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you see how he is with his partner. You see how he is with his crew. You see how he is with.
Yeah, he has a great. As somebody who counsels couples, he has a great phrase. Just give me options.
Yes, like it is a person who, like he's an excellent cook and he cares about people, and like you get to see him live the life that he deserves, right? With the person he loves and the child that he created with the person he loves through their love. And it's not all perfect. Like, both of them are waiting for the other shoe to drop. But, we will take things as it comes, and that's real life.
Mm-hmm.
And it was such a gut punch to see, like, them get to live their lives and get to, like, from death to his part. And then all of a sudden it pulls you out, and then I don't care anymore.
Yup.
Like,
it was really fucking total whiplash.
I should have known that something fucked was going to happen to that character when they gave him a name and a log. Right? Like, okay, that's a red shirt. Also, and I gotta ask, is that Chekhov in your background, Dave?
Me? Here. Where? Check. I don't think I have Chekhov.
Wait a minute. Or is that you, Mark? Because I see like a little.
Oh, is
like,
it kind of just between our
it looks like
our-
check.
windows? I think that's number one, like Una.
Oh
Yeah, on the
God, I
poster.
gotta get my eyes checked.
No, I get it. Yeah, it throws me off a bit too.
It looks like Anton
Anton
Yelkin and
Yelchin,
Chekhov.
yeah. Mm-hmm. No, the only Star Trek character I have here is the Moopsie.
Oopsie!
Mm-hmm.
Why did that show needed to be renewed? I would give up like a last season and like all but 2 seasons of Discovery for like another season or 5 of Lower Deck.
Yeah, I heard that they wanted to do a movie, but that was not to be. Instead, they made Section 31.
Oh, that's on my bottom 5 of the year.
I like Giorgio. That's it.
Oh yeah.
All right. So with that said, I think we're done here with Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. It's fine. I'm happy to have talked to my friends about it. I'm happy to have watched it. Most of the episodes didn't bore me or annoy me.
Right.
And again, it's just one of those. If you like Kurtzman era Star Trek, it's very much that. It's better than some, worse than others, I suppose.
It's one of the best Kurtzman era Star Treks, and I think that's probably because Kurtzman has as little to do with it as possible.
Yeah, it really is. It's kind of like the Paramount side project, isn't it?
He's better than Bergman.
Go make your funny show. So, all right. With that said, that is our review of Star Trek: Strange New World Season 3. We will be back, I suppose, whenever Star Trek Season 4, Strange New World Season 4 comes out, which I believe is next year. Since this is we did good here. This I think just wrapped up last week.
Yeah,
Yep.
it did.
So, like, yay
I
us
was
for
watching it.
yay us for not reviewing it 2 months later.
Yeah.
At least it's fresh in our heads. Yeah.
So Sunday kicked off with me and Jesse reviewing Day Tripper, which, if you're into comic books that aren't superhero books, it was really good. We had a really good discussion about it. Jesse and I came back again, and we did a triple feature of streaming movies. We talked Happy Gilmore 2, Heads of State, and the Thursday Moita Club. Tuesday, Alexis and Robert talked the Stephen King adaptation, The Long Walk, on Alexis's version of Damn You Hollywood. Alexis was reviewing Stranger Things Season 2 with Jesse last night. This Sunday, it's the Metal Hammer of Doom Jukebox. We are discussing Paradise Lost Ascension. This is Robert Cooper's only pick for the year, because everybody gets one, except for me. I get the rest. Monday, Damn You Hollywood is back proper. It'll be myself, Jason Teasley, and Robert. We'll be discussing him, not that him. This is the new Jordan Peele movie, though he's not directing it. Wednesday, myself and Harry Broadhurst, big sexy Harry Broadhurst, will be discussing Beyond Wrestling, American Rana. So that'll be fun. Thank God he only made me watch one wrestling show. We'll also be reviewing all AEW's All Out in Toronto and WrestlePalooza, starring, as my girlfriend called him, my hall pass, Brock Lesnar. And then Thursday, we're doing more catch-up. It'll be myself, allegedly Mick Wanamaker, rumor has it Gavin Napier, and Robert Winfrey. We'll be discussing Drop, Echo, and Sinners, because why not get to the movie that everybody thought was fantastic 6 months later? Timing is everything here on the Rattle Broadcasting Network. Just really quick, because it will be happening in this 2-week period. My second album, Fra Diavolo, Holidays Are Hell, featuring the song every Irish song ever, of which I've made a video, is currently out on all the music streaming services. But I didn't want to go too long before doing another Fra Diavolo, and I had this really fun idea of taking. This is going to sound really wonky and weird, but go with it. 2 songs that I had been ruminating and reminiscing about by the band Hoobastank, called "The Reason" and "The Letter," 2 different songs. And so there was a whole thing where I was having a time, and I was listening to those songs, and they were hitting me in a way that they hadn't hit me before. And I did my whole processing with ChatGPT on it, and then I just let it go. We went into the archive. I'm going through all my chats in ChatGPT to look for stuff to make TikToks about, and I see that one, and I said, hey, let's do something with this. So we did, and it's on my TikTok now. And then I had this idea to make a rock opera because that's the way my brain works. I have a beautiful mind. And I said, I want to take this TikTok that we did about these two Hoobastank songs and make a rock opera out of this about like breakup, regret, and remorse.
You're talking about my era here because I was in high school when they came out.
Yeah, I'm processing a bunch of different things, and this is part of it. So ChatGPT is like, great. So that became Fra Diavolo, Too Late to Rewrite. And that is a 5-song EP rock opera, very melancholy, very Ramos, except for the second song, which is total thrash. Anyway, that comes out. That'll be out on Spotify and Apple Music and wherever you download music on September 26th. So check that out if you're not racist against AI music. And speaking against not racist, Dave, what do you got? When are you coming back?
When am I coming back? Well, I'll definitely be on for Tron Ares.
Okay, let me actually look you up and see you in the calendar.
Yeah, this is the part where I actually tell Mark what the schedule is going to be.
Let me. I don't have you currently listed for that, so let me throw you in there before I forget.
But yeah, that's one of my must-see movies this year.
Yep.
Whenever Alexis gets around to scheduling Wednesday seasons 1 and 2, I'll plan on being on that.
She's waiting for 86 other girls to contact her, so just tell Alexis, schedule it with me, and they can all play catch up later. By the way, you're now added to Tron Ares.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
After we finish Wednesday, probably start into Only Murders in the Building season 5. So depending on how quickly we can get that done, might be on that show too. We'll see what happens.
I wonder,
unless Mark kicks me off.
No, but I like how over time every Only Murders in the Building is becoming quite popular because we fucking picked up Jesse the last time around.
Mm-hmm.
Show.
It is a great show.
Oh yeah, well again, Steve Martin and Martin Short, you had me at hello.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay,
I think it was just the time we had other things going on in our life that we weren't quite able to get to it.
David, that's scheduled for November 12th. Do you want me to add you? I guess.
Sure. Yeah, I think that should be enough time for us to do it. And I do believe we're doing the Memorial Day show for
Veterans Day.
Veterans Day. Not Warriors of the Air. Crap, what was the name of that show?
Masters of Air.
Masters of the Air. Thank you.
Which that may end up just being me and you, but
okay.
Because Andrew is. I love him to death. Not dependable. He has got stuff going on.
And in his defense, he does have like 3 kids. So
yes, and a life and a job and a wife and all the things that rhyme with life. So yes, TV Party Masters of the Air is November 9th. That is me, you, and maybe kind of sort of Andrew. So.
Okay, so I'll have all those shows watched by November, and then we should be good. Yeah.
And Kat, I don't know when you're coming back.
I am on the Michael Mann triple feature, so.
That's right. You're one of the reasons that's still happening because Andrew dropped off that as well. And I told him, nope, I have 2 other people to do with it. I ain't rescheduling. This train keeps rolling.
Yeah, one of them is fancy, so.
So basically the only one that so to be fair, I probably should watch all 3 of them because I have not seen Collateral since it was new. And I haven't seen Heat in about 15 years, and I've never seen Ferrari. So I've got some.
I haven't seen Ferrari yet either, and I need to sit down with my son and watch Heat because it's amazing. But anyway, my father hates that movie. Anyway, yes, Kat will be back in a couple of weeks, October 2nd, for our Michael Mann triple feature of Ferrari, Heat, and Collateral. All right. Besides that, did you want to do any other plugs, Kat?
Yeah. So we have a feature on Trauma Now called Christmas Chaos. First month free, $4.99 a month after that. I'm on Instagram as Kitty Benton. I'm on Facebook as my government name, Kathleen Benton Scott. And I'm probably going to get a TikTok off the ground if I can think of like a good niche for it.
Okay. Just know your national nightmare is already taken.
Oh, I had a question.
Yes.
Are you ever going to do like actually, this is more of an idea. I had a really good idea for a triple feature.
Okay. Let's Play has Mark already reviewed this.
Okay. That's exactly where I'm going with this. On The Void.
Mm-hmm.
Barbarian. and weapons.
I'd be willing to do that because I've not seen Barbarian or The Void, and I've heard Weapons is fantastic. I assume I assume it's the same director for all three.
No.
So what's the connective tissue?
So basically, the only connective tissue I can think of at this moment is I saw them 3 days in a row. Barbarian and Weapons are both directed by Zach Kreger, obviously, as a coping mechanism.
Let you and me workshop this because I like where you're headed, but I'm going to do a Chris Pratt here, Star-Lord. I like your plan, but your plan sucks. Let me do the plan, and it'll.
Fair.
So let you and me kick that idea around, and we'll come up with something that I want to do.
Hey, just like George Carlin, I got a lot of. Just like George Carlin said, I've got a lot of good ideas. Problem is, most of them suck.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
All right, folks. That wraps it up for TV Party tonight. For Kat Scott, for David Wright. My girlfriend is waiting for me. Be well, be safe, and behave.
Live